It's clear the reviews in here. We're on my new page. My new page is going to be the one where I post a lot more longer form content. So if you're interested in seeing that, definitely hit that subscribe button. You also have a chance of winning some really dope prizes if you hit that subscribe button. So watch to the end if you want to see all of the cool prizes that you could win. With that all said, though, today we're going to be doing an interview with someone that a lot of people are going to be very shocked to see that I am doing an interview with. So let's just get to it. Obviously, you have had a very interesting experience in the cannabis game. You've had a pretty, well, not a fast rise. You've obviously have had a interesting experience where it hasn't necessarily been super fast, but you've seen some really high levels. And you're coming from a city that a lot of people don't necessarily see those levels. So, what is the thing that you think is stopping a lot of people coming from Massachusetts?
Massachusetts specifically, or just in general?
Yeah, Massachusetts in general.
It's a good question. I'll give you that. Um, you know, okay, I'm good. I'll stay in Massachusetts, but this applies everywhere. Okay, especially in the East Coast and especially the Northeast Coast, because I would say the same for New York, New Jersey, Boston. Um, you know, People don't want to work with each other. They think that the success of their competitor is dependent upon their personal success.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like if my number one competitor is successful, that means I can't be successful, and that's not true by any means. You
Yeah.
know the pie in the cannabis game is huge. There's more than enough pieces for everybody to eat. You know what I mean? You get a lot further working with people than not working with people, and a lot of people make that mistake of I don't know how to say it correctly. I want to say it right. Like maybe like their ego or they're nervous or they just don't trust themselves. But like again, they don't think that they can be successful if their competitors are successful. Like you know what I mean? Whereas me personally, I don't care what my competitors do because I'm going against myself. Like my only goal is to beat my last idea. That's it. Like you know what I mean? If I do what I'm supposed to do, it doesn't matter what my competitors do. Like
Yes.
you feel me?
Yeah.
If I do what I'm supposed to do, I'm going to get to where I need to go.
I've noticed people in Texas, they seem to be very good at having like teams, like bigger teams, and like places down south, they seem to have like teams, which is interesting. How there's like a huge difference between up here and like Massachusetts area, or like I mean New York's pretty good at it for what I've seen.
They're getting better. They weren't like this 2 years ago. They're
Really?
much better now.
Yeah.
They're much better. But your Texas thing, it makes a point, bro. But it's just the personality of the people.
Yeah.
The Northeast people, I mean, I'm not going to tell you you are from the Northeast. They're tough. They think they can do it all themselves. Like you know what I mean? Me versus the world. It's that mentality. Whereas Texas, and you said Southern states. I'm not as familiar in the Southern states, like Florida a little bit, but I don't really count them as Southern. But it's like that Southern hospitality vibe. That Texas howdy, how you do. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, respect.
it's different personality. It's like California. California, bro. We don't like. Yeah, obviously everybody's gonna have someone they don't like. Like that's just life. Like that's just human nature. You can't get along with everybody.
Mm.
But the big players work with each other out here. I can pick up my phone right now and call Ryan. I can call any. You know what I mean? Because there's that level of respect once you hit a certain level. When you get into the 1%, you know, eventually you meet everybody, and you realize that it's easier to work together than not work together. Community is really important in this game. Like it's really important.
So
You,
that
you
leads me
know.
to
Go ahead. Go ahead.
sorry to cut you off, but that leads me to a perfect question. Do you think that this making amends in a situation like this, do you think that that is good for the community as like a message for people to actually take the higher ground and actually take it in a different way of just trying to continue nonsense?
Of course. I mean, you know, what is this game? 90 something percent male. I don't know if that's a real number, but it feels like it's obviously male dominated, right?
Yes.
Men in general, especially if they're trying to be successful or are successful, are extremely competitive by nature. You know what I mean? So in when you get to business levels, that the biggest brands and the biggest players are in, there's a lot at stake. Whether it's your brand's reputation, the money on the line, the relationship, it gets real fucking competitive, bro. Like super, yeah. Like people are your friends, but there's always a line that they okay. Yeah, you're my boy, but like the interest of my brand now has to take interest over our friendship. It's just reality. It's just life,
Yes.
and you know what I mean. But look, I'm going to use the Mount Vernon situation, okay? Since you asked a question about, past, whatever you said, making amends or whatnot, it's like me and Mount Vernon, we've had our differences since literally I moved to LA. That's a true story. So what? 4 years, 3.5 years, literally have had our differences for many different reasons. It's irrelevant why. I'm not going to go into all that out of respect for him. But after even all these years, we were able to have a conversation. What day is it? Friday. So maybe like earlier in the week, I think it was like Monday or something. All these days run together, and we expressed ourselves to each other. I said what I had to say to him. He said what he had to say to me. And at the end of the conversation, as men, we realized, yo, you're never going to be my best friend, but I can respect you and what you do to provide for your family, provide for your friends, for your brand. I can respect you. It's like I don't know if you know this, but his brother in real life, blood brother, is shopping carts. So like, me and same thing. Since I moved to LA, I had differences with both of them. But like, I don't know, fucking 6, 9 months ago, shopping carts and me, we were brought together by I Fair Mids in a DM on
Okay.
Instagram,
Yeah.
and you know, I think I like this might be wrong, but I think it's true. Like from what I understand, shopping carts reached out to I Fair Mids, and I Fair Mids reached out to me and said, "Hey, yo, let's get in a DM on Instagram." And then me and Shopping Cart spoke and we promised each other that again, same thing I just said, like, yeah, we're never gonna be best friends, but like for the sake of the community and the industry, let's not talk trash about each other. It's bad for our brands and all the other stuff that comes with that. So again, since that conversation, I've never said a bad thing about him. And as far as I know, he's never said a bad thing about me. I haven't heard anything. It took me and Mount Vernon 9 months longer to get to that point, but nonetheless, we are at that point. You know what I mean? And I think to answer your original question, yes, it's better for the community. Yeah, people think negativity sells, controversy sells. It's true. Okay, obviously it's true, but it sells to who? Like, you know what I mean? It registers to who? The people that feed off drama and bullshit.
The
Like those
bottom
aren't the
feeders.
people you want to target in life. You don't want to target those people, bro. Lord knows, like, dude, I'm a very, very vocal person. Like I'm from Boston. You're from Boston. I'm Irish Italian. I believe you're Irish, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are by nature very proud people. Okay, I've worked my balls off from Be Easy. I made it on my own. Obviously, my past, which maybe you get into because I don't want to take that from you if that's what you're going to get into at some point. But I know where I come from. I know the work I put into it. So when people, you know, um, talk down or disrespect the brand or say something about me, human nature in me is to defend it, and by defend it by all costs. You know what I mean? It's just how the Boston Northeast person is, bro. It's like I said a few minutes ago. It's me versus the world. Just
Mm-hmm.
like I'm sure you can feel like it's me versus the world. Nobody is going to talk down on clearly reviews, and if they do, they're going to hear about it. And sometimes that is sometimes your ego gets in the way, and for the not the betterment of the brand, you talk not you. I'm saying like people talk shit or they talk bad, and it's like it's just to feed your ego. Like I've done that, bro. Like I do it. I'm trying my best not to, but at the end of the day, I'm extremely passionate about Be Easy. I'm passionate about the work that I put into it, the time I put into it, the resources, and all this stuff. And just like anything else, when you're passionate about it, emotions can be turned on or off very quickly. You know what I mean? So that's what I would say to that.
Let me ask you this: time back to like early days. What was the toughest part of coming out of Boston?
It's a good question. But I moved here with nothing. Like like 26K. Like I said in my first smoke of the day, sounds like a lot. It's not a lot of money, bro. This is Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Gas is $6 a gallon. Like you know what I mean? It's not a lot of money, bro. And like I said on the first smoke of the day, like within a month here, my pit bull ate my Shih Tzu's face and cost me 8K. You know, the first year in LA, I lost 6 figures. You know what I mean? I was broke. I was eating Leo's taco truck every single day, lunch and dinner. I could literally only afford a $10 lunch and a $10 dinner. That's all I had to spend, bro. The hardest part, to go back to your question, the hardest part about leaving Boston to LA was leaving my family, bro. I did it on a whim in the middle of COVID. I called my mom the night before and said, "Yo, I'm moving to LA tomorrow." I dropped it in the air, but she never thought it was going to be serious. And I said it, but leaving my dogs, leaving my mom, leaving my dad, leaving my nephew. My nephew's 16 now, so he was 12 then. I was like his best friend. You know what I mean? My sister, everything, bro. My doctors, my hospital, all that shit. Because obviously, I had a kidney transplant. My doctors, everything. I still don't have a doctor in LA.
Really?
You know what I mean? I have to fly back to Boston to go to the doctors. Like, you feel me? Like, yeah, but picking up your life is not an easy thing in general. I didn't know anybody. When I was in Boston towards the end, we were Doja's rep. We were me and EK and my business partner, we were doing a lot of business. I was helping him get the Doja brand popped off. So when I moved to LA, that was the only resource I had was Doja EK. You know what I mean? So it's like, coming here and building up everything I had already built in Boston, but having to redo it in the city I'd only been to once in my life. Like, the only time I'd ever been to LA prior was when 7 of our friends, we came to LA for the Lakers Celtics game. Like, that was it. I was Be Easy in Boston. I wasn't Be Easy here. I did zero business. We went to Cookies Maywood to buy our weed every day, like a custody, buying Gary Payton, London Pound Cake. I didn't know anybody. There was no delivery services I could call. I was a tourist going here for the Lakers game to watch the Celtics play. And then that was when COVID first started. Like, the first call of COVID happened while we were in LAX. So whatever month that was, bro, January, February, and bro, I moved here April 28th. I moved here within 2 months, 2 months later, 3 months later. You know what I mean? But like, coming here from a tourist to trying to build a brand and literally say, "Yo, I'm going to do what everybody else is doing and never done it before," that's the hardest part. You're literally starting from scratch. Nobody knew Be Easy outside of Boston. I mean, yeah, maybe if you follow my Snapchat, but I didn't do no business outside of Boston. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the one piece of advice you would have for someone coming out of Boston would probably just to get out of Boston.
I would give that advice to anybody, not just Boston. Leave your hometown.
Yeah.
You know, you're sheltered in your hometown. Like, you feel me? Like, you think people think they know everything when you're in your hometown, but you really don't have a lot of experience. Like, okay, this happened to me. That's why I'm speaking from experience. Like, I
Yeah.
never left Boston until I'm 42. I never left Boston until I was 38 years old. I
Wow.
couldn't travel. I was on dialysis for 6 years. So in order to travel, I had to get a weekend pass from my kidney, from the dialysis center, because I had to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I traveled one time on dialysis. I went to Miami. I had dialysis Friday morning. I caught a flight Friday afternoon and came back Sunday night because I had dialysis Monday morning. You know what I mean? There's no traveling. So it's like, I thought I knew everything, but I knew nothing at all because you're sheltered where you're from. And like, I always tell people, there's vendors I deal with that I tell you, you got to move to California. You got to move to California. I think I said it on First Smoke of the Day. I haven't watched the episode in a while, but I think I said it on the First Smoke of the Day. Like, until you get uncomfortable, you have no idea what you're capable of.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
definitely did say it in the first smoke of the day one.
you
I
have to get uncomfortable.
I agree with that. I definitely think that you have to it's like the same thing with going to those different events and just branding yourself in general. I think that there is like a lot of uncomfortable situations that a lot of people don't want to put themselves in because it's easier to not, you know what I mean? And putting yourself out there is the only way, which obviously that's had success for you. But when you were growing up, when's the first time you actually seen weed around?
I want to go back to finish what you just said about like getting uncomfortable. Like, I can use the First Smoke of the Day as an example. Like, I never showed my face
Mm,
until the First Smoke of the Day. I'm 42. Well, not now, but at the time I was 40 years old. I'm really old school. I was raised by old school people who, remember, I've been doing this since I was 18 years old. It was super fucking illegal back then. Like, you know what I mean? You couldn't do what we're doing now. And I remember asking people, yeah, yo, should I show my face on the first smoke of the day? And everybody said, yeah. They were like, yo, and I told them, I was like, yo, I want to do the first smoke of the day because I want to be the face of candy. And the only way to be the face of candy is to show your face. And I remember I was being terrified. I blink a lot, like you know what I mean. I have little tics, and I was nervous to show them on camera. I didn't want to be made fun of. And I remember, bro, I was so nervous the day before on Telegram. I did like this. I did a POV talking to the camera. It was the first time I'd ever showed my face, and I was fucking terrified. But I knew that in order for the long term goal that I had to do it. You know what I mean? I had to get uncomfortable.
Are you not worried about that at all, though?
No, I'm a legal operation. Like you know what I mean?
Fair.
Like I'm in dispensaries. I'm a legal entity. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
no, that doesn't worry me. I have a cannabis lawyer. We go through all the guidelines and stuff. I'm about to be in 200 stores in Michigan, about to
Wow.
be in every store in California. Like, no, I'm a licensed property. So like that doesn't really worry me. I don't worry about it as far as like the trapping goes, like you know what I mean. I worry about it for other reasons. Like
Yeah.
there are times like I go to a restaurant, people see me and they know who I am. Like that's uncomfortable, bro. I'm not a celebrity. I don't want to be recognized. Like you know what I
Especially by the
mean. It
wrong
happens.
person. You
Yeah,
know what I
like
mean?
that's not what I do. I want to be recognized in the community. But obviously, when you show your face, it's out there. People are going to recognize you, good or bad. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. But yeah, like I don't mind if people know who I am. Like at the end of the day, in full transparency, like my goal is like I model the brand after is Ryan. From Doja.
Gotcha.
I want to be bigger than Ryan. To me, he's the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
And Ryan is obviously very vocal. His face is out there. He's without a doubt, the face of Doja. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, like even though, and I'm sure if he was there, he'd say the same thing. Yeah, it's not comfortable, but it just is what it is. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, it's just part of the game. If I want to be the face of the genre that I'm in, the candy game, and I want to be global and all this stuff, and I want to do interviews like this, I have to show my face. Like I'm a very private guy. I have no life. I wake up, I go to the gym, I come to the office, I go home. I'm in bed sleeping by 9 p.m. every night. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't go to clubs. I don't go out. I don't party. I don't drink. I don't do any of that shit. Like you know what I mean? I literally work and spend time with my family. That is it.
Smart.
There's no social life. There's no clubbing. None of that shit. Like
Yeah.
it's not what I do. I don't go to strip clubs. None of that. I'm disciplined.
A lot of people will look
You
at me like I'm a weirdo because I try to stay away from the chaos. You know what I mean? Even though I'm probably one of the people that like brings a lot of chaos to situations sometimes. But
No,
let's
but it goes to like I was saying, the mentality of where we're from.
yeah,
you, and everybody has ego.
exactly.
You, me, Joe Smo from up the street. It's just, even if you don't think you have an ego, until you get put in a certain situation, you do have an ego, and like, obviously, I've definitely fallen victim to it. You've fallen victim. Everybody's fallen victim. Nobody's perfect, bro. Like, we're all human beings. We all make mistakes. This isn't a script. This is real life. Real shit happens at some point that you weren't expecting or was out of your control. And sometimes emotions peak, and I'm sure you can say it. I know for a fact that I can say it, bro. There's things everybody does and you regret and you wish you had handled it differently. Like that's just human nature, bro. But like no one's perfect. No one's ever gonna walk through life fucking perfect. It's like, but what do you do when that mistake is made? How do you
Exactly.
correct that mistake? Don't matter if it's been 3 years of beef, like I said with me and Mount Vernon. Gives a fuck. You're men, right? You have a family. Mount Vernon, I'm speaking about. I have a family. We have a quadrillion mutual friends in this industry. Like, you don't have to like me, I don't have to like you, but we can squash it and have mutual respect, bro. Like, you understand what I mean? And like, at the end of the day, it's better for everybody, bro. Like, like again, I'm gonna keep using the Mount Vernon example because it's the most recent one. It's like him making videos. It's not gonna do anything. Like, it's like me responding to videos. What is that going to do for your brand or my brand, bro? Like, yeah, you get a few laughs, but you know who's laughing? Like the custies buying the eighth on the street. The real players, the brands, the brokers, they're not laughing, bro. They think I'm corny and they think he's corny for doing it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he can get a laugh from the person buying an eighth. I can get a laugh from the person buying an eighth, but your vendors aren't happy with the
Definitely.
players in the game are seeing it. Like know what I mean. Whether they're on my side or his side, it's irrelevant. They're
Yeah.
still seeing it and they have an opinion. You know what I mean? And like that's what you don't want. Bro. You just, and again, I'm learning this. I'm not a perfect dude. I'm in therapy. I'm working on myself. Like life is not easy, as we know.
When you were growing up though, you would you say that you weren't really around cannabis early?
No, I've been. Um, in what sense, actually? Before I answer,
Well, did you? I remember you saying that in like the first smoke interview. Did you stop? Did you start smoking after high school?
no, high school, out of high school, correct. Like my friends smoke weed, but I play basketball every day. Like that was my like I thought I was gonna go to the fucking NBA at 5'8", like at 5'9", like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I played sports. I was just a sports kid like my whole life. Where I grew up in East Boston was like a bunch of like a townhouses or whatever. Like all the kids would meet at 10 in the morning, play baseball all day, play wiffle ball. Then we'd go to the gym when it opened and we play basketball for 6 hours until it was time to go home. My life was anti-drugs at that point. I mean, you got to remember too, bro. This is 18. It's 2000, the year 2000. You know what I mean? When I was 18 years old.
hmm,
Remember, it's super illegal back then. It is not what it is now. Like, you know what I mean? It's totally fucking different. Like, you know what I mean? My mom didn't smoke. My dad doesn't smoke. My dad, the biggest straight edge in the world. God bless him.
really.
Like, you know what I mean? None of that stuff. So no, like my friends had smoked weed, obviously. I can't remember if they sold. To be honest, it's been so fucking long ago. But me personally, like you're around it, you see your friends do it. But me personally, it's not what I believed in at the time. Like you know what I mean? Until again, I got out of high school, and then like shortly after high school too. Like I just graduated, and yeah, like that's when I started smoking weed. But no, technically speaking, no, not one. Like I said, we grew up. All my friends are straight edges, bro. Like I'm different. I was the whatever you want to say, bad apple. That's not even the right word. But like none of my friends did heroin. None of my friends did oxys. None of my friends did perks and vikes. Like you know what I mean? They're all fucking good dudes. Still, I did that, not them. They say like be careful who you hang out with. But like, I hung out with the best kids in the world, bro, and like, I still did what I did. Like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, we're from a good, I'm from a good, like, I hung out with good people, bro. Like, East Boston's a tough city, obviously, to grow up in. It's not a picnic, but like, my group of friends were good people. You feel me?
Um, did you go to private school at some point?
Yeah. Yep.
Do you
I
think that
went to. What did I do? What the fuck, bro? It's been so long. Wow. Fifth grade.
really?
Fifth grade to ninth grade.
Well, do you
Fifth
think that
grade
it
to
gave
ninth
you?
grade.
Do you think it gave you any edge in like a competitive way over people in like the competition you're in now?
Mm, probably. Um, that's a good question. I mean, maybe I don't know. Like it's hard to say because, like I said, only till ninth grade. You know what I mean? So like I was younger. Like East Boston High School, I would say taught me because in East Boston High School, I don't know if it was my sophomore year when I went there or starting junior year. You had to pick from three courses. One was like medical shit.
Really?
One was like teaching, like if you want to be a teacher, and one was business. And like I took business, like you know what I mean. That's why I've been so good at marketing my whole life. Like you know what I mean because of that. So I would say it was more East Boston High School. I was still too young in Catholic school back then, but I mean, but it allowed me to learn better than being in public schools during that age. Boston public schools is a fucking wild place to be. Like, you know what I mean? And I was definitely fucking not an easy student. Like, I was extremely outspoken and vocal. I won most outspoken in high school as a senior. Like, I was vocal. I've been vocal my whole life. Like, if I think something wrong, I'm gonna tell you. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And but I would say more sophomore, junior, senior year, and freshman college year. But I mean, that doesn't count. I barely even fucking went to classes. But yeah, East Boston High School because I was still too young in the private school age. I was still a kid.
The reason I asked that is because I when I was young, I got to like be around a lot of very rich kids, and I was always super
Mm.
motivated by that. And so when I seen that you said that you went to private school, I was like, this definitely gave you probably like a kick in the ass that you needed, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, it was probably something that was actually very beneficial, but you know what I mean?
So, okay, so yes, I mean, yes, definitely beneficial. It's a good education. I went to Marlin Catholic High School for freshman year. I mean, you're from Massachusetts. Marlin Catholic High School is an all boys school. It's one of the best high schools. I mean, I don't know now. Like I said, this is fucking
Yeah, I'm
20
not too
something
sure.
years ago. Like, but back then it was like the place where people, bro. Like, I was a bad kid, like in middle school, like in my early grade, bro. I was extremely outspoken, you know, desk in the hallway. I couldn't shut the fuck up. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Teacher parent meeting every fucking week, 3 times a week. Like I got into Malden Catholic High School because my mom begged the principal in my middle school, like, please don't send him to public school. Like, he's going to get into trouble. Like, you know what I mean? And like, can you help save my son? And again, I went to Malden Catholic freshman year, all boys school. I wanted to fucking cut my eyes out. And like all my friends went to Easty for high school. So I told my mom after the year, like, I'm gonna go this year because it's a great school and I understand, but like I want to be with my friends.
Yeah.
Like I didn't relate to the kids in Malden Catholic High School. Like, you know what I mean? I related to the kids from East Boston, bro.
At
Like
this,
you know what I mean. I appreciate what Malden Catholic High School was. It was a great institution of education, but like I didn't do good, bro. I'm a C student. Like you know what I mean. It's not. I'm just never an education person. I'm
yeah.
just a regular C student. Like I'm passing with a 70, a
I,
72. Like you know what I mean.
yeah, I notice now that I probably would have enjoyed like actually listening in school, but like I was just not in the right headspace at that age. I was just worried about all the wrong things at that age. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. Like I don't regret that.
I think
Like
it,
I have my nephew is what the fuck, 16, 17. God, I don't even fucking know, right? He's getting old quick. And he's going to go to college.
yeah,
You know, my honest advice is to him, don't go to college. You're going to end up in debt. You're not going to learn anything fucking useful. Like, come work for me. Like, I'll teach you real life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I wish I learned, but like, I also don't think fucking history and science are fucking relevant. Can you do math? That's all that matters, like in life. Like, everything in life is a math problem, whether you realize it or not. Every single thing in life is a math problem. And like me personally, like I learned from life experiences. I read books, but I don't fucking remember what the hell I just read 5 minutes ago. Like unless it's like a fucking Game of Thrones book.
right.
Like you know what I mean. But if I'm reading to learn something, like bro, I gotta read it 8 times.
We're gonna take a quick break to show you the sponsor of the video today. Today we're gonna be sponsored by Exclusive Batch. Exclusive Batch is a very, very high end brand that will be presenting you with nothing but the absolute finest quality that you can find. This is definitely a brand that not only is going to be having all of the old school gems that everyone is looking for nowadays, but it is also a brand that is going to be showing off some very, very high end hash holes. Hash holes are a very dope piece that is kind of new in the game nowadays, but we're starting to see a lot of really, really dope stuff. So, this is very much a pleasure to present you with Exclusive Batch. Did one question I had, did kids give you a hard time when you went back to public school as a
No, God,
private?
I'm popular. I'm
Yeah.
super popular my whole life. Like I was a popular kid my whole life. Like I said, I played sports my whole life. I knew everybody from the city. Like, no, I've been popular my whole life when it comes to like that type of stuff.
So can I say
Like
this?
you know everybody from sports. Like you know what I mean. So it was always good. And I never like even when I went to those schools like you're from Massachusetts, so maybe you know the geographic layout. Like I'm from East Boston, when I went to my middle school, it was in Revere. It's literally the next city over.
Yeah.
Like it's a 10-minute ride. Like you know what I mean. Malden's what 20 minutes. You know what I mean. But in high school, I did not hang out with those kids outside high school. I always went back to Easty to hang out. You know what I mean. So no, that was never an issue. I got East Boston tattooed on me. Like I was always loyal to those kids. You know what I mean.
So you would recommend sports is definitely a great avenue for for anyone to gain a lot of friendships and also just
Everything
for free
trust.
time and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, trust. You know, if you're on a team, I have to know how to trust the worst player on this team.
Yes.
It's easy to trust the best player.
Yeah.
Can you trust the worst player? You know what I mean? Respect for when this dude fucking sucks in his game and he can't hit a jump shot. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can't just shit on him. You have to have mutual respect, understanding, compassion, all that stuff comes from sport. Like, but how to be, you know, like, okay, like I know what I'm capable of. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just in life in general, not just sport, but you know what I mean? Like, I know what I bring to the table, but what difference does that make if the other three members on your team aren't good? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to build them up, and playing sports teaches you how to be unified as one group. Like, you know what I mean? And trust building, and just like, if I don't have it today, I know my teammates going to have it. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, sports is always, bro, and it teaches you discipline. Depending on your personality, if you take it serious, it teaches you discipline. You know what I mean? Like, I learned from. I say this all the time. Like, my biggest pet peeve in life is being late. It is the most disrespectful thing in the world to be late. That means you don't value my time. You know what I mean? Like, I learned that in the fourth grade from my basketball coach. 5 minutes early is on time. On time is 5 minutes late. And if you're 5 minutes late, don't even show up. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it teaches you a lot, bro. Like, I'm 42 years old. How old was I in the fucking fourth grade? You know what I mean? And I still talk about that quote. And that was fucking middle school basketball, immaculate conception in Revere, like,
Yeah.
and it's still registers to this day, for sure.
So can I ask this? When you had an issue with drugs, were you consuming cannabis or shrooms at that time at all?
Definitely not. I mean, I'm sure I did shrooms, but like consuming regularly, no. Like, I
Mm.
definitely did shrooms. No. I can't even fucking remember. It's been a long time, dude. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm gonna say no to the smoking weed. But I can't say I really genuinely from the bottom of my heart don't remember. You gotta understand, when you're on drugs, all your money's going to the drug that you need. So based on that alone, I'm gonna say no. Like,
Mm.
you know what I mean? I'm like, bro, I'm shooting heroin. I'm not spending fucking any money on weed. Like, all the money's going heroin, without a doubt. Like, you know what I mean? Um, and I was doing, yeah, I'm gonna just say no as a general answer.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I smoked throughout it at points, but like, generally speaking, no, I would say no, because all my money has to go to that drug. Like, you know what I mean? Trying to quit, absolutely. Trying to quit. That is, if not the biggest reason, top two or three. Like, you know what I mean?
Is shrooms
For sure.
major in that?
Say that one more time. It kind of broke up.
Was shrooms major in your experience quitting?
No, 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 no. I didn't really
Really?
do shrooms back then. I love shrooms. You know when I really got into shrooms, bro? When I moved to LA, because I was by myself. Like, I had no friends out here at the time. Like, and I would just literally stay in my apartment at night, and like, I watched every Marvel movie on mushrooms. That's how I watched Marvel the first time.
Wow.
So I watched every single Marvel movie from start to end on mushrooms. The first time I ever seen a Marvel movie. So, and like, bro, I would just stay in my house and I would watch movies. And then, like, once the movie's over, like, bro, that's when you do your self reflecting, or whatever, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, shrooms more. And I haven't even taken shrooms in a fucking year and a half, and I would love to, but I just got a family now. I got a kid. I don't have enough free time anymore. But I think everybody should have to take shrooms by law once a year, because you
Yes.
really don't know yourself until you do mushrooms or something like that. You have no idea what you are.
Yeah.
I've never done an ego death trip. I've never done that much. Probably most of it was like an eighth. But nonetheless, you learn a shit ton about yourself on mushrooms.
A hundred
You,
percent.
you know what I mean?
I've
Yeah.
never actually taken a big amount either. I've always been like kind of intimidated by it almost. You know what I mean? Because it just seems
There's
like
no
a,
off switch.
yeah.
There's
It's
no off button.
but
Well, my
when
ideal world, I take a gram and a half and I watch movies. Like, I
yeah,
like watching movies on mushrooms because they're totally different on mushrooms. Like, if you ever watched Doctor Strange on a mushroom, bro, it's made for mushrooms.
I
Like,
haven't seen that.
or like Willy Wonka,
Yeah,
forget about it.
it's a
You,
perfect
you
one.
know what I mean? Yeah, it's made for mushrooms. So like, that's what I like to do. And then when I was taking the mushrooms, I had lived on Sunset in Hollywood, and like, I had a balcony and it was just so live outside. Like, it was never a dull moment, bro. And like, you could just go on your balcony on fucking shrooms and just watch the city, and it was crazy. You,
Yeah,
you, you know what I mean? Like, I never left my apartment. That was my big thing. Like, you're gonna get high on shrooms, but we're not leaving this apartment. And I never take shrooms with anybody in my life. only by myself.
Really?
I can't look at people when I'm on mushrooms. It's
Yeah.
weird. Like
I know what you
that's
mean.
why I don't want to take it with my girl. My girls ask me, but like I don't want to. I don't want to look at her on mushrooms. It's weird to me.
Yeah.
And like, so when you're tripping, you don't know how you're gonna react. Like I just, yeah, I'm nervous to take it with other people.
1 second. Let me. My computer's acting weird. Let me just when my response to that though is I actually I had like a I didn't really have like a perk problem for like a long time, but I would say it was
You said
definitely,
perp?
yes, perks. Like
Okay. Yep. Yep.
it was something that was like kind of like just like a hot item that was going for like a little while. So I was just like very unknowledgeable on it, and the way that I actually got off was microdose on shrooms. It was like this thing I heard. I
Amazing.
seen like a video of someone speaking about it on Joe Rogan's podcast. Actually, the guy was like saying that um he took like a point 0.5 of shrooms for like 5 days in a row or something, and it just like helped him. So I did that, but I only did it for like 4 or 3 days, and it
And you were
worked.
physically good?
It made me self reflect a lot. It made me like
No, no.
very
I mean, like, let me rephrase that. I mean, physically good from the perk withdrawals is what I meant to. What I meant to say.
no, I definitely was like it wasn't like easy, but it was like the only
Mhm.
thing that I was like I'd rather this. You know what I mean? Like it's like
Yeah. No. Yeah. Of course.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
I always think about it though in the bigger picture. It was like I do think that what it is there's a lot of people that it's almost like similar to you saying move out of your state, move out of your like comfort zone. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people they get super comfortable and sorry the things like staticking, but it's they get
Hmm.
super comfortable and they rely on the comfort and they cannot do anything that isn't going to be outside of that comfort zone. And right now in today's culture we're kind of like we're helping that, and it's not necessarily good for the people in my opinion, but
No, of course.
yeah. With that said though, do you think that poker is also like a thing that could be something that you could be addicted to?
I, bro, what? Of course, this is gambling. You know what I mean? And I personally don't consider poker gambling because it's way more skill involved, but there's obviously a huge gambling aspect. But poker lifestyle is extremely unhealthy.
Yes.
Like extremely, like, bro. I played high stakes in LA. I was paid to play by the house. Like I was a house player. So I played for one house, and they would send me to other houses to play. You know what I mean? And what an unhealthy lifestyle. What an unhealthy lifestyle. People sniffing coke at the table. People, girls getting fucked in the back. You start poker at 9. You get home at 6 a.m.
It's
You
fuck.
sleep till 4 in the afternoon. It's disgusting, bro. Like at this point, like, but you gotta understand, this is not even sarcastic. I was playing poker at 5 years old. My whole family plays poker. My dad, they're not as good as me, but that's where I was raised, sitting on my dad's lap with my uncles and my cousins because they're older than me, watching them play poker. Like I've literally been in the poker, playing poker for fucking almost 40 years. Now ask me to play poker. 0.0% chance. Unless it's in Vegas, maybe I play at a casino, but you'll I like playing in these high stakes games in LA made me hate poker. And I hate it. It's so unhealthy, bro. I hate it now. It's
Do you
crazy how that happened.
do you ever think that you find yourself in putting yourself in those high stakes situations because of your love for poker though?
Um, but I'm just good. You know what I mean? I'm a really good, like, just being honest about it.
I'm
I'm a really good poker player. I made money doing it. Like I was a
yeah.
winning player. At this one house where I was a house player for, I was the most winning player there by far. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm good at it. So I played to make money. I only did that when I first moved here. So there was layers to it. Number one, I can make money. Be Easy wasn't making. I lost 6 figures when Be Easy the first year. You know, so that was making money for me when Be Easy wasn't. But it also was a social environment where I can make friends. Like I had, in general, I'm not a social person. Like if you ever see me in an event, like yeah, okay, if I know people, I'll talk. But like I said earlier, like I go home, bro. I'm an introvert. I'm good on camera. I'm good about talking about weed because this is what I'm passionate about. But like just talking to people, like, and I'm not good at it, bro. It's not what I am. Like, small conversations bore me. I'm a big picture guy. Like, I don't get motivated. Like, if I'm in the elevator with you, I'm talking about the weather. I'm not good at small talk. I'm really bad at it.
Yeah.
Like, I need to have the big conversations motivate me. So, like, poker allowed me to get out. I met my wife there. Like, you know what I mean? Poker allowed me to get out and meet people, whereas the opposite was just being in my house by myself all night. Like, miserable, depressed because I have nobody.
Do you think that you kind of put yourself in high stakes situations though outside of poker, like just in regular life because of the love for poker though?
No, not really. Bro, I'm just like I said, like the Be Easy personality and the Bobby personality. Bro, it's just how it is, dude, right? This is social media. Like in order to be what I want to be, like I said earlier, I have to be a big personality on social media. It just comes with the game. Like if you're a quiet guy, there's a million brands, right? But why are the top? Think if you name the 10 brands like off the top of your head, I'll bet you most of them have a face. If you're gonna say Doja, if you're gonna say Alien Labs, like these people have faces to the brand. Like I'm a pretty big brand, I have a face. Like you can only get to a certain point of size unless you're fucking sprinkles without a face. You know what I mean? It's like there comes a certain point where you have to push over that, and because the end consumer has to know who they're like. Have to support somebody. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Can you support a brand logo? Yeah, sure. We all support fucking Nike. We don't know who the fuck the guy looks like who owns Nike. You know what I mean? But it's easier to support somebody that you can communicate with, see with, and like establish some type of personal connection with. You know what I mean? But like the Bobby personality, bro, is in bed every night, asleep by 9:30, the very latest. Like, you know what I mean? Like in person, bro. Like I'm a but I'm one of the most helpful people you'll ever meet. Now, why do you think people like to deal with me? Because I do things that other brands won't do, whether it's giving them a collab, talking to them, helping them in life, giving them advice. That's the Bobby side of me. The ego side that you see online sometimes is the easy side. That I'm working on.
You mentioned sprinkles. What is your opinion of the whole sprayed pack?
Like I said, bro, I don't know if you watch. I don't even know if the fucking thing's aired, to be honest with you. But I did the Luke LMC. Um,
I didn't see that one
uh,
actually.
Yeah, I don't even know if it aired yet, to be honest with you.
I
But
was
I
trying
did the
to I
spray
was trying to
pack doc.
find it.
Yeah, me too. I haven't seen it if it has it. I think my one-on-one interview has aired with him, though. You could probably find that if you ask me. That one did, but the whole documentary, I don't think it's aired. But like,
Really?
I did that with him, bro. And like, like I told Luke, bro. Right? As we all know, I made a post about selling spray packs, loose packs, however long ago that was. Right? Just like I said in the post. And look, I'll repeat what I said to Luke. Like, I understand why people um, came at the brand saying, "Oh, Be Easy is sprayed." I get it. Okay. Do I agree with it? No. But do I completely 100% understand it? Yes. Okay. So when I make that post, even though I clearly write in it like only loose packs and not Be Easy, it doesn't matter because it's coming from the mouth and telegram of Be Easy. So people cannot separate the fact that at the time I don't do it anymore, but like there was a loose pack. We offered loose work to other brands. Like I don't do that anymore. Sprayed or non-sprayed, I don't offer loose work to people anymore. And while I say Be Easy will never be sprayed, but these loose packs will. People, rightfully so, could not separate Be Easy from the loose term. I am Be Easy. So therefore, if I'm writing it and it's in the Be Easy Telegram, it is only natural for somebody to associate it with Be Easy. So I do completely understand that. It's just how it is. It's like when a newspaper makes a headline that's going to jump off the screen to catch you, but then like you read the article and like maybe it has nothing to do with the headline. Like people read people saw spray pack and Be Easy Telegram and ran with it. And I understand it, bro. I understand it. I sold 5 fucking loose spray packs, bro. This is a true story. I sold 5 loose spray packs. The last 2 never sold. They turned brown because I couldn't get them to buy because, you know, I'm a very honest guy, dude. I don't feel like I make a lot of mistakes in life. That was the biggest mistake I have ever made in my life was that post. To this day, as you know, I still deal with it. It is that is the only time in my life operating Be Easy that I was like, whoa, you fucked up, Bobby, big time. Like I seen it. Like, you know what I mean? Like clients, some clients who will come in, stop coming. I lost friendships over that. Like literally real friends. Like I lost actual friends over that. To this day I still think it's the dumbest thing in the world. But I literally lost friends over it. I got kicked out of a pop-up because of it with Smoke Up, John Doe, and Kaya Farms. And there was other brand, I can't remember more. But I got kicked out of a pop-up because of that. Like, and I've said a lot of controversial shit in the history of Easy, as everybody knows. None of them had any repercussions. You know what I mean? That biggest mistake I ever made in my life. I'm fully aware. It was by far and away the biggest mistake I've ever made as the brand owner.
Yeah. I definitely think people also like assume it when they see on the packaging when it doesn't it say like 100% candy terps or something.
Yeah, but terps is just terpene profile. You know what I mean? Everything is lemon terps, fucking orange terps. But okay, you are right. Like I get what you're saying. Like because the end consumer is, this is just like in every business in life. Like the end consumer is sometimes not as educated as the biggest players. So like sometimes for the end consumer, you have to be as black and white as possible. You know what I mean? So like you take away all the misconceptions or like the possible misunderstandings that could come from something. You know what I mean? But again, it's just that's just part of business anyway. You know what I mean? It's like some at some points like the end consumer doesn't even they're just not as educated as higher up. But I think to answer your question even more, like there was a post. Where the fuck was this post? It was in the proper doings post of me, Be Easy versus Up the Hill in the Galactic Warheads versus my notebook drop. Somebody commented, what do you mean by candy terps? And like I had to respond like, or me and Pumpkin, but just a flavor profile. You know what I mean? A terpene profile, but it goes to what you're saying, like the end customer post. This end customer never even heard of the word terp. Like, that's a heady term. Like, the Terps are smoking. It's kind of a heady term.
Kind of, yeah.
At least 2 years ago, it was super heady. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Now it's a little bit
definitely.
more mainstream, but like, it's still a heady term to a lot of consumers. Like, you got to remember, bro. Like, someone like you, someone like me, we're like the 1% of smokers. Like, like people think California smokes the best weed on earth. Yeah, sure, the 1% does. But go global and ask them what their bestseller is. It's a fucking $15 eighth.
Yeah.
Like you're $10 eighth. Like California, the number one seller is $150 ounce of OG. Like you know what I mean? Yeah, of course you got the fucking $600 ounce of toad venom and the $500 ounce of blue Zushi, but those are the 1% smoking that. Like you know what I mean? There are pounds when you tell a regular consumer the price, they look at you like you're fucking nine heads. Like you know what I mean? You pay what? You pay $5,000 for Zushi? The average, more than the average, like 99% of the people think that's a make believe number and it doesn't exist. It's like you're on Twitter, bro. When people post $1,300 ounces, and I know that it's real. Cash Tree and Nemo are more than 1,300. Like that,
Yeah.
I know that. But go post a Cash Tree jar on Twitter, tell them that you paid 1,600 and watch the responses. You know what I mean? It's like people don't believe there's $30,000 bottles of wine. Like, there is. I promise you. Like you know what I mean. But again, the 1% understand that. You know.
Would you say though that you only became aware of the levels of cannabis when you got sick?
In terms of what? Like, what do you mean by levels?
Um, Maybe not levels. That's probably the bad way of saying it, but like, did you notice that there
Like
was differences in like what different?
different types of weed? You mean and
Yeah,
effects?
yeah,
Oh yeah, no, for sure, bro. No, I mean I've known that. Like you know what I mean. Like obviously not when I'm 18. Back then it's Mexican brick weed you're smoking. Like you know what I mean. So do I like one thing about me? Like I don't know how it's happened, but bro, my entire life when it comes to smoking, I've been blessed. with the best people that I get it from. Like I don't know how it happened, bro. Like I've never, in my opinion, not got it from the best person that is offering whatever they're offering. You know what I mean? Like I remember one of my first plugs, bro. I used to work at the sub shop in Revere called Domino's, and this kid, bro, this is fucking. I used to leave high school and go work, so you know what I mean. 25, 30 years ago, you know, and this kid, my coworker, who ended up being unplugged, I would buy like hydro off him because that's what was popular at the time, like the type of weed that you buy to sell. And bro, he always had like, yo, take this quarter or take this half of head smoke. And it was the stuff that you would see in High Times magazine, like that nobody was getting or even ever heard of or had access to. Like, and it's always been like that for me, bro. Like I've been really blessed always to been able to smoke the best weed. Like when I first moved to California, bro, like oh, my first time ever in California. Like this is how I know I was blessed. My first time ever in California, not the LA trip. Me and my business partner went to the Emerald Cup up in the Bay. Okay, I was still sick. I was still on dialysis, and we're sitting in the fucking Roots Chris Bar at at fucking fucking in the Bay at San Francisco, whatever it was. I'm online, bro. Now you gotta remember, right? My plug back home in Boston at the time would show me all this heady stuff, and I followed Shutu Daru on Instagram. So like, I wanted Taft Street. I wanted the best. Like I was following this guy because my plug back home put me on to him. And I go, this dude smoking like shit you never seen. Like what the fuck is this? Like how's he getting this, right? And that's when I first heard about Castry Mason, bro. And like so the first time ever, I'm in the Bay in the Roost Chris Bar with my business partner, and see this homie Earl Turpiner post it. He's still active today, right? And we're in the Bay. He's not in the Bay. He's 3 hours away. And I DM him, hey brother, I'm up here. I see that you have the cash tree, and it was enough that he could possibly sell. Like you know what I mean? It's 14-ounce jars. He looked like he had a QP, maybe 6 ounces. Like so all right, let's see. I DM, hey brother, I'm up in the Bay. Where are you located? He tells me 3 hours away or whatever. I'm like, yo, can I buy any cash tree? He's like, I have an ounce and a half that you can buy. And funny fact is, he had Third Eye Organic way before they were Third Eye Organic, right? But he had their Wookiees. And they were Third Eye Organic, but not what they are now. Like, this is 4 years ago, right? Well, a little bit longer than 4 years ago. That was six, maybe 5 years ago. And I'm like, yo, I'm in the Bay. I'll drive there right now if you tell me I can buy the cash free. He's like, yeah, just let me know when you're here. I'm like, all right, I'll be there in 3 hours. Me and my business partner drive 3 hours down there. We get the cash. I still have the videos in my phone. I'll never forget opening the jar for the first time. Like, I think I don't remember what I paid at the time 13, 14, 15, 16. And then, bro, we drove 3 hours back to the Bay. We probably smoked a fucking half of a jar on the way up back. You know what I mean? But like, again, I've always been blessed. Like, there were people that hunted this for years and couldn't get it. My first time in California, I got it. Me and my homie Gulf Coast, LA, right? When I first moved out here, I was dealing with him. Fucking kid, I love this kid to this day. I love this kid, right? But I'll tell the story. Fucking kid sells me fake cereal milk. Okay, as you know me by now, I lose my shit, lose my fucking mind. He blocks me, but like I'm a somebody at this point. I know people, like So like I'm DMing his small batch customers who know me too. Like, hey, don't fuck with. He just sold me fake cereal milk. Blah blah blah. Turns out he was going to sell somebody the cereal milk, and the kid canceled the order because of what I told him. So he unblocked. He calls me, hey, bro, I'm really sorry, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? I got a gift for you next time I see you. He pulls up, he gives me a cannagar, a cigar. I'm looking at it, and it's wrapped in tissue paper with the hundreds all over it. I'm like, yo, is this what I think it is? He's like, what do you think it is? I'm like, yo, this is NorCal Nemo, isn't it? He's like, yeah, it's a NorCal Nemo Skittles collab blunt with Gonzarillo. Now I think I have a unicorn in my hands. Like I literally can't believe. Like the thing is glowing like in the movies. Because the thing about Nemo is when you DM somebody, like even that night, Earl Entrepreneur told me, like, because I brought it up to him, yo, if you ever get Nemo, let me know. He goes, I'll tell you right now, that's one thing when I get it, I don't sell it. Like whatever, it's so hard to get, I can't sell it. So he gives me this, and I'm like, and I've actively been hunting Nemo for 6 months to smoke, and I could never get it. Everybody tell you the same. I got enough to smoke, can't sell it. And I'm like, yo, how the fuck do you get this? That you're giving it away? He goes, no, no, I get it all. I'm the source for it. I'm like, you're the what? He's like, I get it all. Oh, ever since then, I just smoke Nemo like it's regular. You know what I mean? Like, It just happens that way. Like I've really been blessed to smoke the best of the best at all times. Like I don't know why, don't know how. I'm just the right place, bro. Like the shit finds me. Like you know what I mean? And I'm not gonna argue with it. Shit, I'm glad it finds me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been blessed to try the best weed in the world, bro. You know, as a kid coming from Boston, bro, who grew up on Mexican brick weed, like you feel me? Like shit's crazy to me. Like you know,
Do you think that cannabis made you a better person?
absolutely, 100%. You know, cannabis, bro. Weed is the greatest thing in the world. Like you know, it unifies people. Look at us.
Mm.
We're talking right now, right? Like we're having a very good interview. You know, and it's like, well, that's what weed does, bro. At the end of the day, it's like Mount Vernon and Sharp and Cox. Like, yeah, me and you, man, talk about them, or even you right now. This applies to you. We may not ever be best friends, but it comes a point where it's like, okay, yo, I respect what he is trying to do for his brand. You know what I mean? I respect you at some level have to respect what I'm doing, you know? And, you know, it's cool to air out your differences. Did we do it incorrectly for a long time? Yes. Is there a better space to air your differences out as men correctly and come to the bottom line differences and understand that, hey, yo, my drama with Clary is a bad look for Be Easy. Or you say, hey, my drama with Be Easy is a bad vibe for Clearly Reviews. Like, you know what I mean? There comes a point as men where it might take 2 fucking years, bro, clearly, right? But, you know, it comes a point where you're like, okay, for the betterment of Be Easy, not, you know, I have to do something about this issue. And just like I'm sure to have this conversation that we're having now, you had a similar conversation with yourself, right? For the betterment of Clearly Reviews, how can I put my brand in the best position to be successful? And at the end, not viewed certain way by people, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, we have a different, you know, I'm sure I have people, you know, people that support me, message you and talk stupid nonsense, right? And it gets you going and it fucking puts you, and at the end of the day, just waste your time. Now you're responding to people you've never met, you probably will never meet, and most importantly, they're not bettering you. Just like when you have people, or I have a million haters who DM me. It's like me answering those DMs, giving them the time of the day, is only taking money out of my pocket in the sense that maybe that person wanted to buy an eight before but never will buy an eight now. You know what I mean? Or maybe one of my supporters would have subscribed to your channel eventually. If you have, let's just say there's a good day comes where you want to charge $9.99 a month, you know what I mean? Or $20 a month. And like, damn, one person won't pay that because they fuck with me instead of you. Like, bro, at the end of the day, business gets affected. You know what I mean? Like, I'm 42. I'm not exactly sure how old you are. You're obviously in your 20s, but like, at the end of the day, bro, like you have something you love in your review shit and what you're trying to do. I have something I love, and it's like, you know, it's easier to work in peace and no drama. Like, bro, listen, this is something I'm realizing recently. Like, you know, like I said, I'm in therapy for over a year now. I'm far from fucking perfect. My therapist absolutely knows you by name, without a doubt. Like, you know what I mean? My therapist knows Mount Vernon. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is something that I work on behind the scenes. It's not easy by any means. You know, I'm a very prideful fucking guy, as we all know. You know, but at the end of the day, it's about making progress, whether it's 2 years down the road or what. Like, you know, are we going forward or are we going backward? You know,
Yeah.
and that's what it comes. In transparency, one of my partners is walking in, but we're gonna keep talking. But just so you know, like I hear the door opening, so there will be somebody else in the room. But we're still gonna talk as normal.
Okay. What was the this the one thing too? The thing's gonna cut me off in like 10 minutes. So let me ask you a few more questions. When you were on the East Coast, were you ever able to actually find something that was matching what you're getting on the West Coast now?
Power wise,
Yes. Yeah.
right? I mean, like, like as far as like, I mean, yeah, but it wasn't like what I would consider now. Like, you know what I mean? It was like, all right, like for example, like, I mean, you can get anything on the East Coast. You know that now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, You want to hear a fucking true story? The most truest story in the history of true stories. This is the fucking truest story I've ever heard, right? My partner might even hear this for the first time. So, the day I get called for my kidney transplant, the day, like, I'm waiting fucking 6 years. 6 years, And it really happens like the movies. They call you randomly, like at the beginning of the year in January, they told me, hey, look, you are now in like, you're going to get a kidney this year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're in the top, whatever, but you will get your kidney this year. It's just a matter of when. Like, you are now showing up in every search when they're looking for a kidney. So figure in the next 6 months. So random day, bro. I got my kidney April 7th. So let's call it April 6th. I want to say it was a Saturday, but we have to go back to the calendar. Bro, I had ordered in the day. I'm waiting for a 7 of Canatee Crown Jewels and a 7 of Canatee. What was the Blueberry Cruffin? Okay, Canatee back then was the best rec brand in the world. Their lemon cherry, their town juice, their Blueberry Cruffin was the best. Blueberry Cruffin is one of my favorite weed of all time. And I had never smoked the Crown Jewels. But so I'm waiting, bro. They call me, hey, Bobby, you have your kidneys ready, like it's going in you tonight. I said, I lied to him. I said, hey, I don't have a ride. My mom's working. She gets out at 8. I was like, I'll be there as soon as I get there. As soon as she's here, we'll go right from there. They're like, okay, you just have to be here by X time. I was really waiting for the 7 of Crown Juice because I wanted to smoke it before I went in. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, you could get shit back then. Like, you could get cookies, bro. And Gary Payton and London Pound Cake all dropping cereal milk. They were available within 24 hours. And, man, fucking 108th. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was the wreck shit because, bro, I haven't been to a dispensary in fucking so long. But back then, if you had a med card, you could walk into like cookies and buy an HP all bagged up. So there were people that were flying out there or grabbing it and sending it back. You know what I mean? Whatever they're doing. So yeah, you could get it right away, but it's not like it wasn't like the Nemo or the Castry or it was the best of the Rexit at the time. You know what I mean?
Do you think now that people have more access to different media sources and they're seeing that people are smoking all these different things, do you think that candy is kind of losing steam?
No, because here's what I think, right? Look, and I'm gonna say this to what I said to Luke. I'm gonna go back, bro. So like what I said to Luke in the thing, because people sometimes think I'm supporting things when I talk about it. In reality, bro, my character trait, like my personality, is just devil's advocate. Like I have an advisor and a consultant, like, and he'll ask me questions, and I'll just come back with him with the complete opposite side because I want to, I like to try to think the other side. So like when Luke or whatever was asking me about the spray pack, like you'll never ever in your fucking life find a person on this earth that will say a Be Easy branded pack was sprayed. They don't exist, right? However, I have friends that run them spray brands. I have a million friends that run spray brands. Has nothing to do with me. You know why? It's just a genre in the weed space, bro. Because just like candy, like it's just a genre. Like it's never going to go away because there are people who I trust me in this, but I promise this. There are people that will only smoke candy and nothing fucking else. Like under any circumstances, they will not smoke anything else. And same thing with spray. There are people that will smoke spray and never smoke anything else. It's just a fucking genre, bro. People trying like is people trying to because look, it's part of the game. Like this is just how it is. Like anything on TV, like ESPN First Take, it's just people giving their opinion and trying to persuade somebody else's opinion. So that's never going to go away. But it's all it is. It's like you're trying, not you, but I'm saying people in general when they're giving their opinion. Like if I say spray weed sucks, or you shouldn't smoke spray weed, or you shouldn't smoke candy, like all you're doing is telling another grown man who spent his hard on money on what to do. Like they don't want to hear that, bro. They just don't. Like and you divide people. Like you push people away. Like you know what I mean? Like I smoke Skittles and gas. I want to smoke Zushi and I want to smoke gas. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you, hey, don't smoke this if you like it. Like, you know what I mean? It's just,
Sure. Yeah.
yeah.
What is your thoughts on rebagging?
In what sense? Like,
Say
because there's
if
many
there was
ways you can be back.
another
You have to
brand,
clarify.
if there was another brand that you worked with and you put LCG in their bags, do you think that that is a move that is good for anyone?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great move for people. It's the only way to do it. Every brand does it. Like, Every brand does it.
Hmm.
90% of, not 90, I mean, that was a made up number, so let me stop myself. What brands are fully integrated, like vertically integrated? I mean, from seed to the bag. Very few, bro. It doesn't exist like that. Like you know what I mean? It's not what it is. It's like, yeah, that's just not what it is. You may have a grower that grows your weed for you, but like you know what I mean? Because like the whole rebagging thing is like, bro, somebody grew it. Like you know, somebody grew it. Like you can't discount that grower just because that like you gotta understand, bro. Business is business. Like you know what I mean. And there's an entire market that asks for this, and it's like you can't say no to a market if that's what you know the business is asking you for. Like it would make you a bad businessman. Like you know, Coke is poison, right? I think we agree with that. McDonald's is absolutely poison, right?
Hmm.
But people eat it. You know, and McDonald's is, I mean, it got to be a fucking $1 billion company, multi, like, you know what I mean? It's like, we all know that poison, especially in 2024. Not that, by the way, not that candy is poison. I'm just saying, like, but it's business, bro. Like, when you get to a certain level in life, it's just business, bro. Like, McDonald's fucking knows their burgers are fake and they're fucking killing you. Look at all these cereal brands you grew up on, right? And now you see in the news they might fucking cancel this cereal because it causes cancer. Bro, I've been eating this for fucking 35 years. Now you're gonna get rid of it because it causes cancer? Like, you know what I mean? What about the 30 years ago? Like, you know, they knew they were poisoning us all along. But again, it's business. Like obviously selling candy is not poison, but you understand what I mean? It's business. Just like I just never understood why why candy in general gets all the hate. Like you know, it don't make no sense to me, bro.
I think
It's
it's
like
the
you
same
have to
reason why Bubba Kush got a lot of hate before. Bubba Kush used to get a lot of hate because it was
like the
degraded and
platinums, right?
yeah, it
Like
was
the platinums, right? That's
people
right.
were selling it as work packs. They were growing it in mass production, so it was just taking away a lot of the quality and a lot of the just overall like it was just killing off that strain. So I think that's what's gonna happen eventually to LCG, but who knows? You know what I mean?
No, right. See, I don't disagree with that, by the way. Your general theory of that, I absolutely agree. But look at it like this, right? How many candy brands exist right now? 100,000 more, right? Whatever. Pick the number. The number's irrelevant. How many are actually popular and known, right? Why are those ones popular and known? Bro, before trend, bro, I don't pay, like, my lemon cherry cost me $2,700.
Mm.
You know how expensive that is? Do you know how expensive that is? Ask anybody you know who buys candies and ask them how expensive
Oh,
that
I
is. Bro,
know. I
listen
know
to me.
people. I know people getting very cheap
Listen to me.
candies.
It is 5 points more than the second best pack.
Yeah.
That's how much I pay. Like, I'm a transparent book, bro. Like one thing about me, I'm going to answer the question. Like somebody probably going to get mad at me when they hear the price, but that's the price. But if they know how expensive, bro, I'm California. Like I'm a big brand. People are knocking me down.
Apologies.
No, that was me. That was me. You want me to just jump into it, or
Yes, please. Yeah.
yeah? So like, it's like yeah, the repackaging thing, like it's just business, bro. Like you know, like you gotta understand, right? Let me give you an example, right, bro? I'm not college educated. I come from Boston, bro. Nothing. You know what I mean? But my specialty in life and always has been marketing. I'm great at marketing. Like you know, it's like how else are you gonna do that broke? You know, starting busy. You know, I'm broke. How are you gonna do that broke with no college education? I'm not gonna sit in a fucking business office all day. That's for damn sure. It's not how you know what I mean. It's like marketing, bro, and like bro, like it doesn't sound like you were around. You gotta remember, right, bro? When Be Easy started, I used to fucking like I'm going to rephrase it. I don't want to call out the brand for no reason because it was years ago. But like, I used to be anti candy. Like, bro, like Be Easy was the first Be Easy bag I ever paid to get printed by designing customizers was Gelato 41. You know what I mean? The second bag was a collab with Way Up. It was what the fuck was that called? It was something, but nonetheless, it was a London pound cake. Like you know what I mean, bro? Then I would there, bro. Every you, I'm not gonna say the brand, but you're gonna know the brand once I start talking. The biggest candy brand in Boston that has been for years. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, he was the biggest then. Like you know what I mean? And bro, I'm anti it at the time. Like, damn, y'all. Remember at the time I'm selling Doja packs in my bag. Like you know what I mean? So, yeah, There was no candy in a Easy bag when I lived in Boston. Zero. Still, like, I mean, fucking zero. I never sold candy while I lived in Boston. That's an absolute stone cold fact. Everything was the Doja packs. Me and EK would go to the print shop. We would design the bags for their shit. You know what I mean? And put the Doja and the Be Easy logo on it and move like that. It was never candy, bro. And then, the other brand, who was the biggest brand, he had waves, bro. Like, he was big. Like, yeah, maybe Be Easy was second, but he was significantly bigger than me, even though I was second. And it's like, I used to make the posts. All y'all smoke this candy, this, that, and the third. And it's like, what are you gonna do, bro? Like, bro, you can get on the surfboard and ride the wave, or you can paddle into the wave on your hands. Like, is ride it or get swept under. It's like again, I don't look at it as, because it goes back to what I was saying a few minutes ago. Like, I don't, unless you're smoking fucking brick weed or sprayed weed, I don't really judge you. Like, to each his own. Like, to each his own. And you also got to remember, it's not easy to source great candy, but it's easy to source candy. Like, in California, these facilities were built during COVID. A lot of these big ones, right? They're built during COVID, and they were literally only grow candy, bro. Like, because it's just business. Like I said, these facilities know what make the money. So they literally structured all these facilities to only grow candy, because a major facility, they want the shit gone when it's cropped and dried and trimmed. They don't want to sit in around. And what's going to go the quickest is candy. That's why all these small batch growers, on a much smaller scale, are the opposite. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whoever your favorite weed is in the world by a small batch grower, it doesn't matter. But whoever it is cannot come anywhere close, even if they had a facility, right? Say that they still couldn't sell the numbers that these candy brands do, because it's not a mass product. It's not what the masses want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why they are grown on a small scale, and they're generally not the candy the candy terps, and they're the different terps, the Skittles crosses, the gas crosses, and this and that. You know what I mean? Because that is, unfortunately, because I love that shit, just like you love it, is more of a niche market. Like, you know what I mean. You can't sell a $1,600, $1,300 ounce mass to the mass audience. Like, it's fucking. I wish, but you can't.
Let me
Like,
ask this though.
you know what I mean.
Do you think that the reason why, for the most part, the masses are getting the candy still is because of how well it does growing in like mass quantity? Like, it's a great strain for mass production, and it's definitely one that also tastes good enough where if you're still doing it in mass production, it's going to satisfy people whether or not it's on the highest of levels or not. You know what I mean?
So the second part of your question is overwhelmingly yes. Overwhelmingly yes. The first part, I'm not sure. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe yes, partly no. But the second part, absolutely. But you know what I'll go to, right? Like, when I'm going to just use New York as an example here, right? New York kids generally smoke with grabber in their joints, okay? So they need something. And by the way, I learned this from a homie's post on Instagram, Ziploc Zoo. This is because I used to ask people, like, "Yo, how the fuck are you smoking with this grabber shit? Like, don't you smoke anything but candy?" Because, bro, like, we're empty now in the office on head stash, but like, I have different shit on the menu than candy. I always have Be Easy product on the personal side, but there's all the small batch shit, Tornado Terps, whoever the fuck everyone smokes. That's always available too. But it's like, and I asked my client, "Oh, how come you tried this out? And why don't you like this?" And it's like, "Oh, through the grabber, it doesn't shoot through the grabber the flavor, and candy shoots through the grabber the flavor." And bro, like, I'm not like, I like Skittles and gas, okay, but I can sit here and tell you, like, a blunt of candy is gonna smoke and taste really good. Like, that it gets me a little bit too high. I don't like that. I like to be creative. That's why I like Skittles. Skittles makes me creative, and I got shit to do, so I can't be slumped all day. But like, and candy gets me slumped, but it's like, it tastes fucking good. Like, and like, I think a lot of kids, they want to get high, bro. People are going through shit nowadays. They're fucking stressed. Like, and it's heavy. It's heavy enough. It's flavorful enough, and also, this goes back to my answer in the last question. It's readily available. It's like, Do I wish, like in a perfect world, right? I would love to have SKUs like Doja and Tenko. You know what I mean? Like all these different like crosses and shit. But unfortunately, for my brand, it's just not what it is. It's not what it was shaped to be. But however, we are working on that currently. Like we actively are currently getting new strains. A lot of them will be focused on the rec side, but like the Be Easy in the rec side, for example, will not be candy. Like I have three SKUs coming. One is candy, and that's Turps and Caicos. It's the first strain I ever made. You know what I mean? But the other two are not candy. One's a permanent marker Bolo Runts Cross, and the other one is this fucking strain that I think is so fucking good called Pineapple Belts. I don't even know the genetics yet, but I'm buying a tray of cuts literally next week, and like it's so fucking good. But like I am trying to do the opposite of what Be Easy is on the street on the rec market. On the streets side, it's just readily available in big numbers. There's other strains aren't available in big numbers. Oh, and like, yeah, they're just not available in these numbers. Like I said a few minutes ago, like all these facilities were made during COVID and structured to grow candy. So it's like literally what's there. Like, do I wish I could go buy a whole room of Skittles and all my vendors who buy the candy buy the Skittles? Nothing would make me happier. But guess what? It will never, unfortunately, it will never happen. Like I have a Skittle strain, the bonsai. Okay, I do one unit of bonsai because none of my vendors will buy the whole unit. I can't even sell one whole unit of bonsai.
Well,
Think about that. Like literally, I can't. Every one of my big vendors will come in here and buy an ounce to smoke. None of them will buy a unit to sell. It's like it's like sitting in the chair that I'm sitting in. I see different sides of the game that most people don't see. Like you know what I mean? Like I see what these kids want and don't want, and what what's moving the radar and what's not moving the radar. I can see over the last 6 months that a lot of vendors, the big vendors, are smoking Skittles more,
yeah.
but like they're also 6 months to a year behind. Like, California been smoking Skittles for at least a year, 2 years. I mean, 3 years. You know what I mean? Where these vendors are just now catching up to it. But there are still plenty of people that A, won't even open the jar to look at it, or B, when they roll it with their joint and grabber, say, it's not, it doesn't, like, why do you smoke this? Why do you think it's the best weed? They don't like it. Like, you know what I mean? It's just,
Besides
it's like, go ahead.
besides Skittles though, what is like a terp that you actually like? Are you into all those different OGs
I like
or
lemons. I like lemons. I like oranges. Like the omakase from what the fuck? What's that brand? It is omakase, right? Yeah, omakase. Wow, forget about it. Shit tastes like an orange Fanta. I smoked that for the first time. But actually, when we dropped Get Lucky at Go Global, they had a little event up there for 420, and one of the homies had it, and I bought a jar, and I was like, wow. I like terpy shit, bro. I like lemon bean. I like the terpy shit. I'm a flavor smoker. Like you're gonna get high anyway. Like it's just part of it. Like no matter what. I don't want to be buried. I have shit to do. I don't dab. I don't smoke donuts for that the same exact reason. Like I just I blue sushi to me is the greatest weed in the world, the best weed ever made because it just gives me what I want. Like I stopped smoking Fronto leaves. I'm smoking joints with grabber, by the way, but like the Fronto leaf was just a lot for me, so I stopped smoking it. But blue sushi for me through the Fronto leaf was like heaven. Like wow, like this is what it was supposed to be. Like but yeah, like I like shit that's gonna taste really good, bro. Like I'm just above the taste. I don't want no offense, bro. I don't want to smoke like El Presidente and just get melted and not taste anything. I want to smoke shit that tastes good. The high is gonna come anyway. Like I'm really big on flavor.
I know you're into marketing. What do you think is going to be the next huge terpene profile that's actually controlling the market? Because obviously everything has cycles. I know you want it to stay what it is right now, but what do you think could be
No, no, no.
next?
I'm open to change. I'm open to change. Like I said, I'm trying to do the rec brand different than the street side. I genuinely am open to change. Um, to answer that question, it's hard to say because it's like this. Like this part of this interview cannot be underestimated. When I'm telling you, every facility is growing candy. Like so, what that is telling you, like lay out my opinion, get rid of your opinion, get rid of branding. Okay, branding is irrelevant right now. The people growing the cannabis are growing candy. So what is that telling you? And so you understand what I'm saying? How far that away is from turnover? Like in order for the game to change, like people want, or want, these facilities have to turn over their whole facility. The facility has to believe that I can sell this room that has 100 units in it when it's all done. You know what I mean? Of whatever strain that we're talking about. Let's just say it's cookies or whatever, a new pheno. Like that's a long time away. Like these facilities, fucking many $1 million companies. Like so it's like to tell a company that's profitable and selling out every crop, hey, let's stop doing that. What's working for you? Like you know what I mean? Like that's real big business. And like at the end of the day, it always comes to a point where math is math, and if 2 plus 2 is equaling 4, I'm not changing. You know what I mean? So it's like take away your opinion, my opinion, and all branding until these facilities see the difference and make this huge turnover on a mass scale. It won't happen. Now on a small batch scale, yeah, of course it could happen. Like you know what I mean? Because these growers are breeding and doing all this shit, and they're trying to change the game. But these huge facilities that brands like myself use and other brands use, they are appealing to the masses and what moves the needle and what most importantly gets them paid immediately. Like you know what I mean? So like that's what I. It's never as cut and dry as people want to seem. Like you know what I mean? Like there's always who is making the ultimate decisions, and that's the facility. So until the facility sees something we're changing, it will never change on a mass scale. But the next big profile, I don't know. Like, so I'm a Skittles guy. Like, I hope Skittles is involved in it. I like I like sweetness. Like, you always want a little back end gas on it. Of course, I don't want an empty hit when I'm smoking. Um, well, you want to know the full honest to God truth? Like, I kind of think weed is going downhill right now. Like you know what I mean? Like I am not the biggest fan of all the weed on the market right now. Like you want to know the real truth? Bro, I eat edibles most days. Like I cut down smoking big time, partly because I'm in the gym, and like I noticed at one point in the gym I was fucking breathing way too heavy in between exercise. Like, yo, this is not normal. Like, I'm fucking dying right now. So, like, that was why. And I'm just on the healthy tip. So I eat a lot of Astrolux edibles. Like, I start my day with one in the middle of the day and I get the high I want. But, like, a lot of me wanting to switch over to the edibles aside from the thing, was like, bro, this weed sucks most of it right now. And in full transparency, like, even though Blue Zeus is my favorite weed in the world, like, I think anybody will say it's not what it was 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Task is not what it was 2 years ago. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it fucking is, and our tolerance and tolerance are just getting higher, bro. Maybe we're all wrong. Like,
I
maybe it is the fucking same. But again, it's recently, it's really good. I'm like, yo, this is fucking loud. Is toad venom,
really.
but I can't smoke it every blunt because it's not terpy enough for me. But like I can sit here and tell you, wow, this is fucking real 1010 weed.
Yeah.
Like no doubt about it. Like objectively, like yo, this is what good great weed looks like and smells like and should how it should smoke. But like for me to sit here, like bro, I can smoke blue Zusi every day for a week, like weeks straight. There were times where I only smoked blue Zusi for months at a time. And like it never got old. Like as great as I think toad venom is a true 1010, like just not terpy enough for me. Like, I feel like just lately, and maybe it's probably my own fault, but like I just find flaws and shit. Like nothing's perfect. Like I'm chasing something that's maybe not there right now.
You know who
That
actually got me?
omakase. Go ahead, say it again.
You know who actually got me into doing reviews?
Mm-hmm.
Who? Do you
Into
know?
reviews, who?
You.
No, I don't.
You were the one.
Into reviews? Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy. That's dope. That's
You. I
fucking
remember
pretty
you.
dope.
I remember you posting your reviews on Snapchat, which is like funny because it's like
Oh my god, it's so long ago. That's funny. That's a long time ago.
Yeah, it's
That's
funny though
crazy.
because like it definitely opened my eyes a little bit to like seeing that there is like always gonna be like you have to be critical if you want to actually see that there's levels to this shit and actually gain like knowledge in this game. You have to like kind of like see what you're smoking, and as you were saying, like you're not necessarily satisfied with everything that you're having right now. I think there's a lot of things that play
Mm-hmm.
play into it, like LED lights. A lot of weird things play into the longevity of different strains because I see that like outdoor weed has way longer of longevity than the
Mm-hmm.
shit that's growing with LED lights, which is like a lot of people are just gonna be like, oh, he's a cussy for saying that. But if you try, I mean,
No, I understand. I definitely get what you're saying. In the sun is high terpenes and stuff. I definitely understand what you're saying.
Did you ever try J Plant Speakers flower?
Okay, full transparency, I hated it.
It
But
definitely
I,
is hyped. It definitely is hyped. But can you see like the difference in like the effects of like the outdoor compared to indoor?
I think okay, I think that's a bad example. But like, okay, for example, like
Yeah,
when we
bad
went to the
example.
Emerald Cup, when we went to the Emerald Cup years ago, me and my partner, I didn't know what the fuck it was. I just knew it was a big event. We wanted to go, and I remember most importantly, Alien Lab was dropping Milky Way and Xeno, which Xeno is essentially Skittles and Cushmans, and Milky Way is Skittles, maybe wedding cake. I want to say. And no, I'm a Skittles guy, so like we literally went there with that was the sole intention to go get Alien Lab. But then getting there, at the event, I realized, yo, this event is mainly to sell seeds and sun grown flower.
Yeah.
So like they were up there, I smoked some loud sun grown flower that like won the competition. Like yeah, it doesn't look good, but when you smoke it, it's a very clean, clear taste. Like it's in its natural element. Like you know what I mean. So for sure. Now, I mean, bro, people don't get it. Like a lot of the best Skittles is fucking outdoorsy
Outdoor.
Depsy. Like they might not fucking know it, but there's some expensive Skittles out there that is fucking outdoors. I assure you.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, no, that's not a custody statement by any means. Like if you want to smoke the most organic terp like out of the spring, yeah, it's definitely not a custody statement. Like it's its purest form.
I have
Obviously, the high is going to be as good, but it's its purest form
I have
for sure.
some flower from Black Cat Genetics right now that's actually grown outdoors, and it's like it's weird because the smell and like the taste on it is amazing, but if you look at it, the stuff looks like garbage. You know what I mean? It's
Oh, I
just
can imagine.
it's funny
Where are
because
they from?
Humboldt.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Like, like the thing about me is like I don't fucking like I don't understand the depth outdoor game. Like I don't know what I'm looking for. Like like yeah, like I don't understand. Like it's just not my lane. Like it's not what I've seen every day. So like when someone shows me this and I'm like. And they're like, oh, it's really good. I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess. But like, I just don't understand it. Like, you know what I mean? Enough
100%.
to know that what's good or what's bad. Obviously, out here, like what I come into contact every day is like indoor. The best. Luckily, you, you know,
Fresh indoor
I'm in a
weed
good.
is great.
Say that one time. What was the great?
I think fresh indoor weed is great, but if it gets over a few
Yeah.
months, it gets weird. It's like I don't know.
Well,
It's
you
like
know what it is, bro. Like the East Coast, other than stuff sent in jars,
yeah.
they never see the plant or the finished flower in its truest form. Like it's been crushed or whatever. You know what I mean? To get there, and it's crushed and it's just not. The structure's never going to be the same. Like you know what I mean? Unless it's that shit that gets over there in the jar. So unfortunately, that is part of being on the East Coast. But yeah, of course, freshness is everything. But like, you don't want it too fresh either. There's a nice money spot in there somewhere that the weed's at its best. And you got to keep in mind too, it's also how people store it. Like, think like if you're not getting it from the grower direct or their direct broker, it's like you don't know how that person in their house is storing it. Like,
Yeah.
is it in a turkey bag that's being opened and closed 50 times a day? Or is it in a big mason jar properly? Like like I can say that for a fact. When I lived in Boston, bro, everything was in a huge mason jar. I used to go to Target all the time by the big mason jar because I'm a connoisseur, so I knew and I knew enough. But again, it goes back to the education, bro. Some people just aren't educated on how to store stuff properly, like the humidity and all this stuff, like and yeah, a lot of that has to do with it. But storing of it is really but fuck. Just leaving it in the light can fuck it up. Leaving it in your car can fuck it up, like not knowing it. You know what I mean?
I have a question about branding. So basically, if candy was to fall off, could you ever imagine yourself becoming someone who helps people with branding instead of being someone that is on the
I do.
oh you do?
People pay me for consulting. I consult with brand. They pay me. Like that's what you know what I mean, bro. Like it goes back to like our very, 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 very first part of the subject. Like my competition success has nothing to do with me. Like you know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
bro, I absolutely help brands like competition that people would never do. But that's also why people fuck with me. Like a lot of bro, I'm an East Coast. A lot of my clientele, 99.9% of my clientele is East Coasters. Like, so just like we were talking earlier, it's the same makeup, the same we come from the same place, same mentality. So like they relate to me. Like I always thought that was my biggest advantage that I understood the consumer better than a lot of these people born and raised in California or Texas or any other state other than the Northeast, because we are a different type of person. We believe things. Like I said earlier, everything I said earlier, and I relate to those people, and they relate to me in that sense. You know what I mean? So I always thought that was my biggest strength as far as that, just like understanding the last person buying my product, the eighth, like the people buying the vendors are easy to have a relationship, but I see them every day or every week and talk to them every day. You know what I mean? But the person buying the eighth on the end, like I always knew I related to them.
Yeah.
I answered the DMs like a lot of people. I mean, look, I don't answer DMs like I used to. For everything I said earlier, like it just me, I'm not good at answering DMs in the sense that like if you say something stupid to me, even if you're a nobody, like you're just a customer in Idaho or whatever, like I'm gonna snap back at you, and it's bad, like you know what I mean. So like in the last 2 weeks in particular, I've really cut back on answering DMs, and like I don't love that, bro, because I'm really passionate about this. I love talking about you. Other than maybe sports, like you will not hear me talk like I'm talking now. Like I'm a quiet guy. Like there are times I sit in this office on my phone for 2 hours. I don't say 5 words. Like you know what I mean? It's like this is what I'm passionate about, so it's easy for me to talk about. You know. So that also goes to why I like to help people.
I think everything's gonna move back to being more in person, like for the cannabis game in a way. I think that that is like the only solution for all the nonsense that goes on the internet, because it seems like there is even like when you try to say something on the internet, it's very much easy for someone to misinterpret what you're trying to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you think the spray packs was a great example of that for me. But I said it on what the fuck did I say on Good Pizza? I just lost my whole train of thought. But I'll come back to it. But go ahead, finish what you were saying.
Yeah, I really think that more events in person need to be made, because realistically there is so much I don't know.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I said it on Good Pizza, bro. Like this phone gives you so much power,
Yes.
way too much power. It is so easy, just like bro. It is so easy to go like this and type out something that in person you wouldn't say, not out of fear, nothing like that. You know what I mean? Just out of like knowing how to control yourself better in person. Like
Yes.
you know what I mean? And it's nothing to do with being nothing like that. Just like in person, I can control myself enough not to react like an idiot. Like, you know what I mean? Where I can pick up this phone and I can type out in the moment, instantly, whatever I want. Like, bro, and I've been a victim to that for a long, my own doing, of course, I'm saying. And
Hmm.
everybody's a victim to that. And like, so, the internet's a really difficult place to navigate.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
have a big, 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 big stage on the internet. I have a huge following on the internet. Like, just like if I post something, it's everywhere soon. Like, that's the first time I realized it. Like, whoa, was with that spray post back in the day. Like, I realized, like, I always knew, like, if I post something, it's going to get a lot of reshares. But like that right there was the moment I realized, whoa, how much power I have with one post. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I that was like nothing I've ever experienced. Like it was like instantaneously fully engulfed flames. Vendors calling me, yelling at me, friends calling at me, yelling at me, like reshares every fucking where that you could ever imagine reshares. And I'm like, whoa, like damn, like I'm just like in my mind, I'm just me. I'm a regular dude, like and I'm like, whoa, like you gotta really chill the fuck out with what you put. You know what I mean? Like that was like fuck, like and like oh, still fall victim to it. Like, nobody's perfect. Like, I'm
Yeah.
trying to be, but it's tough, though. It's really tough. Like the end of the day, we're all regular people. Like, yeah, we have I have a persona that I on the internet. Everybody, all these brands have a persona, but at the end of the day, that shuts off. Like, and you're still you. Like, you know what I mean? When the phone's away and you're with your family or whatever, you're you. Like, and there's things I do or have done that I would never do in a calm state or without this fucking phone. Like you know what I mean? And I'm sure you can agree. Anybody can agree to that. Like the phone's real trouble. But society in the general has changed because of the phone. Like
Yes.
kids don't go outside anymore
Yeah.
because of the phone. Like
Exactly.
it's not as much as we need it. Obviously, it's it really brings a different side of people out that you would not see under normal circumstances
It is
in
definitely
reality.
it's something that has a it has like a very obvious yin and yang to it. It's very clear to see that it definitely can help a lot of people like gain a lot of traction in business, but it also can take away from that as fast as it gave you. You know what I mean? It's definitely something that is very interesting to see though, because we get to see like the whole evolution of it right now, and I'm just trying to, I don't know, I'm not trying to play my cards too unsteady, which I think you're doing a smart job with as well. But with that said, I definitely think that
It's just growth, bro.
yes, yeah,
It's just growth, bro. Look at like, not to cut you off, but like, look at we've had drama. Look, and people don't even know. Like we were cool in the beginning, bro. Right? We were cool, right? It happened over some stupid nonsense, right? And then obviously it escalated. But like, yo, we were cool. Like like if you're cool once, there ain't no reason you can't be cool again. But above all that, right? All the bullshit we caused, right? I caused you, you caused me, right? All the stupid posts I made, all the stupid posts you made. Were any of them better than this interview?
no, I
You
think
feel
that
me?
this is definitely going to be very interesting for the people to watch. I think that people will
Yeah, because they're
definitely
not expecting this right now.
no,
Like
they're
this
not.
is, and like everything that I did stupid, posting about you and everything stupid you did about me, none of that shit was as good as this interview. Like you feel me? And like at the end of the day, that just proves the point that it's easier to be cordial than not. Like that other bullshit, bro, does us both negative. I get looked at as an asshole. You get looked at as an asshole. And like nobody wins. You feel
Exactly.
me? Now this interview was a great interview, and now this is going to get posted, and like, oh, you're going to get people are going to see it. Like, yo, that was a great interview. Like, you know what I mean? And like that will be way more valuable to you and me and your brand and my brand than any of that bullshit fucking other nonsense, bro. You feel me? And at the end of the day, the brand is the most important thing in the world. And I would like to think you feel the same way.
I
You
agree.
know, and like that's all it comes down to is like the brand above everything else.
I agree. Is there anything that you want to shout out before we do end this?
I'll shout you out for saying it for hosting this space. Obviously me and we've been posting on the internet, but me and this it's been heated for a while now. Me and you, like, it's been stupid. I've done dumb things, you've done dumb things. So like, a shout out to you for swallowing your pride and ego, and because I know how your ego and pride, just like mine, both in the same place,
Mm-hmm.
and swallowing your pride and ego and putting it aside for the betterment of your brand, and hosting a good interview, dog. I've done good interviews. This was a very good interview. I said it to you a couple of times. Damn, that was a good question. Like, this was a good interview.
I
Like,
appreciate
you
that.
know what I mean? And yeah, so shout out. I'll shout you out for that. Like, you know what I mean? As men, I respect people that can communicate at the end of the day, and this is for the best for everybody involved. Your platform will, I'll repost this shit, bro, and your platform will fucking 10 times overnight. Like, you know what I mean?
I appreciate
And
that.
but you know what I mean? Like, it's just, bro, it's better, to move on like we are as men and supporting each other's brand. Like, yeah, do we ever have to be best friends? No, but like, can I appreciate that you're gonna make great content and do interviews and watch them and like them and support it and repost it because it's a great interview? Of course I can. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't affect me. Your success doesn't affect me. Like, you know what I mean? I'd rather see people win than not.
I agree with that. I think that everyone can find respect for each other in some way. It doesn't have to be, as you said, you don't have to be best friends. You don't have to be any of that, but you definitely have to find a way to either respect someone or it's gonna fall bad on you in the end. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be something that is easy to deal with for anyone. Everyone has a conscience and everyone's gonna think about shit in the bigger picture. So the better to make
At the
wrongs
end of the day,
right.
bro, we're in the same industry. We have the same passion. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, what you love, I love.
Exactly.
Not to mention we're from the same fucking place. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But like, you love what I love. I love what you love. Like, it's there's no need for the nonsense. Like, you know what I mean? There's no need. It's better to work together than against each other. Look at this interview, bro. It's a great interview. Both of us are going to benefit extremely from this. And at the end of the day, isn't that better than hurting the brand?
100% is. Well,
You
I
know,
appreciate this. I definitely would love to probably do a part two later in the future, a couple years from now or something.
I'm a listen, bro. I'm available. I love media. I love talking about the plant. Like I'm an open book, bro. If you ever want to do an interview, you DM me, set it up, and we'll do it. Like I'm here to support people. I want to see everybody win. And at the end of the day, I like to express myself, so I'm always available.
100%. I appreciate that. Well, stay blessed. I
I
appreciate this.
appreciate you, brother. Have a great day.
You
A
too.
lot of people weren't expecting this,
Later.
and I'm glad to present this to you. I think that this right now is a perfect time to put differences aside and move forward if it is possible. So, doing this, I feel, is the best example for not only the cannabis game, but just for anyone that views this. So, much love and respect to everyone. This definitely is something that I feel happy about. So, much love.